Introducing the Risk-Free Reference Rate, RFR. Financial benchmarks refer to a value that financial firms use as a standard when determining either the amount to be paid or exchanged or the value of a financial product. Among different financial benchmarks, interest rate benchmarks are used to determine the amount of interest payable or receivable for a wide range of financial products. The CD rate in Korea and LIBOR in international market are the most commonly used interest rate benchmark. The CD rate and the LIBOR are calculated based on the quote rate estimated and presented by panel financial institutions. The viability of the CD rate and LIBOR as interest rate benchmarks has come into question recently because for the CD rate, the trading volume in the underlying market continues to contract, and for LIBOR, the number of panel financial institutions continues to decline. In other words, the two rates no longer represent financial markets and lack the reliability required in interest rate benchmarks. One instance that led to a massive loss of confidence in LIBOR came in 2012. In the 2012 LIBOR scandal, several global banks were caught fixing and manipulating LIBOR rates for their own benefit. Most were levied with substantial fines as a result. This LIBOR scandal took a toll on the relatability of interest rate benchmarks around the world. As confidence in the reliability of existing interest rate benchmarks collapsed, the need for a new benchmark emerged worldwide. In 2018, the European Union, EU, enacted and enforced the Benchmarks Regulation, BMR, to boost the transparency of benchmarks. On the heels of the EU's new regulation, the Financial Stability Board, an international organization, recommended the development of interest rate benchmark based on real transactions data to each country. As such, countries around the world embarked on developing transparent and reliable reference rates capable of replacing existing interest rate benchmarks. And this is how the risk-free reference rate, the RFR, was born. RFR is virtually risk-free since it is based on actual transactions between financial institutions with high credit worthiness, and is an ultra-short-term transaction with a maturity of 1 business day. Also, because the rate is calculated based on transaction data, it is free from any risk of manipulation. Countries around the world have started developing, calculating, and publishing their own RFR as an alternative interest rate benchmark. The UK, EU, and Japan selected RFRs based on unsecured overnight transactions, while the US and Switzerland chose RFRs based on secured overnight repo transactions. Starting in January 2022, LIBOR will be gradually phased out, will lose its function as an interest rate benchmark, and will ultimately be replaced by the RFR. Very much in line with these global developments, Korea also initiated a project to create its own RFR. In June 2019, the Financial Services Commission and the Bank of Korea jointly launched the Interest Rate Benchmark Rate Improvement Team, and under it, the Working Group on Developing Alternative Benchmark Rates. The working group carried out tasks designed to help develop alternative interest rate benchmark rates. It surveyed circumstances surrounding benchmark rates in Korea and abroad, collated feedback from market participants, and prepared a final RFR selection protocol. In November 2020, after extensive discussions, the unsecured overnight call rate and the overnight treasury repo rate were selected as the final candidate rates. Soon after, in February 2021, the repo rate was selected as Korea's official RFR through a vote by the Market Participants Group consisting of 26 financial institutions. Korea's RFR is the overnight repo rate secured with government bonds and monetary stabilization bonds as collateral. It is called Korea Overnight Financing Repo Rate, KOFR. Based on its experience and credibility as a securities settlement institution and tri-party repo agent in the Korean market, the Korea Securities Depository promises to keep the KOFR error-free in its calculation and publication. For more information, please check the KOFR website at www.kofr.kr.